Hello and happy Wednesday. I'm Reverend Gregory Toole, and what a good pleasure it is to be with you this day. Did you wake up this morning saying, "This is the day that the Lord has made, and I shall rejoice and be glad in it"? Or something like that, something positive, declaring what your day is going to be today? That's how I love to start my day, is really just rejoicing in this is a beautiful divine day. The topic I want to talk about today is, do you have God? And this is something that sparked me from Joel Goldsmith, because there's a whole thing he writes about where he says, do you have God? No, not just as a concept or as a theory, but do you really have a felt experience? Do you really have a knowing and a communion, an ongoing communion with this presence of the divine right where you are? And so I want to talk about that a little bit today. I want to talk about, I was thinking about how the relationship we can have with our divine self, or really which is our highest self, and how much time do we spend really cultivating that relationship? I thought about it like a relationship with a friend. Think about how it would be in a relationship with a friend if we only went to that friend when we needed something, right? And we were going and demanding something, right? Like I want this and I want that. Why haven't you given me this? Why have you forsaken me? Right? Like what kind of relationship would that be? And then the thought of cultivating that relationship with our divine self, with our higher self. We probably talk to our inner child a lot. We probably dialogue with our inner critic a lot. We probably dialogue with that part of us that wants things and desires things. But do we commune with that part of us that is our highest self, that is connected into our soul, that is connected into our highest nature, which is really God right where we are, which is really our own divine nature? And what would that look like? What would it look like to go to our highest self and say, what do you want from me? How can I serve you? Which is really speaking to ourselves, right? How can, you are the wisest, most intelligent, powerful, creative part of me, aspect of me, truth of me. What do you feel I should do in this situation? How do you want me to serve and to be and to give in this situation? And that is a beautiful communion where we really start to know the presence of God right where we are, where we really start to have a close relationship, a close walk with our own higher self, which is really God right where we are, is our own divine nature. And wow, how does life look like from that place? So my invitation today is to really start to commune and cultivate that relationship with your own higher nature, with the divine right where you are, with God right where you are, right? To begin asking that highest, truest self of who you are, how you can serve it, as opposed to how it can serve you. And in this conversation that Goldsmith talks about, he talks at a different point about go to God just for God. Like, don't go with a demand, a question. Don't, sometimes just go to God for God. And we can go with a question too, and we can go with our desires and what we're declaring and accepting and claiming for ourselves too. But can we have some time, even if it's just a couple minutes a day or 5 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day, where we just go into the stillness? We take a few deep breaths, we breathe in, and we just be, and we just commune with our own higher nature, right? We just are in that state of being. And in this world that we live in, sometimes we're getting used to really fast results, right? Technology, we get, maybe it can discourage us sometimes from that slower walk with our divine nature, that cultivating of a relationship with our higher nature that is so powerful, right? Because when we have that relationship, when we are, can commune with our highest nature, gosh, we can ask any question and have the answer. But it's not where we begin. We begin with the communing. We begin by just wanting to be with our higher nature. And then from there, when we step into that consciousness, right, we step into that awareness of our oneness with the presence of the divine, our oneness with our highest nature, Now, from there, we can ask the question. From there, we could begin to manifest the life that we want by declaring it from that place of centeredness, from that place of clarity, from that place of power. So, the invitation today is to spend some amount of time every day just being with your divine nature, just being with your highest self without any demand, question, wanting anything other than to know God more and more closely at the center of your own being. Enjoy the journey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace and blessings.